talk about disappointment, shall we? No, you are not alone. I am not alone, and every single artist at some point will deal with this. The disappointment and tendency to demand way too much of ourselves. Art can be deeply personal, and it's easy to set high expectations. You want every piece to be perfect, every stroke to be flawless. But the truth is, art is a journey filled with ups and downs, successes and failures. And it's essential to acknowledge these disappointments and learn how to handle them. Now, that is easier said than done, right? Whenever I am fighting against one of my drawings, all I want to do is rip it into pieces and burn it to the ground. It is all nice and cute to say, each stroke, each mistake is a part of the creative process. Instead of viewing mistakes as failures, you should see them as opportunities to learn and grow. Perfection, is a myth. And what makes art beautiful is its uniqueness and authenticity. Now I know that makes no difference, and we don't care. I don't care. We don't care about that fluff. All we want is to have perfect art all the time. So my advice is just accept it. Just accept that not everything you do will be perfect. You're not enjoying the process? Just stop. Pick it up another day. Seriously, you don't have to keep pushing yourself just because you infused it in your brain that it's an ungodly sin to stop, interrupt, and not finish a drawing or a project. If you're too stubborn to toss it, that's fine. You can always resume torturing yourself the very next day. Now you may say, I want to be a full-time artist. I'm going to be able to do that by the end of this month. Oh, and I will also have published my first illustration book by the end of the month. And you know what else? I'm going to have thousands and thousands of YouTube subscribers and nothing will stop me. Now, ignore that exaggeration, just a minute, and tell me, have you ever set an insane goal for yourself, even if it wasn't that insane, and then you get extremely upset, extremely frustrated, and just give up because of course you did not make it, you did not achieve it? You can trust me on this. If your goal is not realistic, you're not going to achieve it. But not because you're incapable, just because you're crazy and anxious. Setting realistic expectations is crucial. While it's fantastic to aim high, demanding something that is just impossible from yourself will only lead to frustration. So what can you do then? Well, it's quite simple really. Build slowly and focus on progress. Just getting a bit better every day. Organize your routine to make this possible and not a burden on your existence. Art is supposed to be therapeutic. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be something that brings you closer to yourself and brings you joy along the way. So instead of saying to yourself, I will draw something amazing every single day, you can say, I will do my best to show up for my sketchbook and draw for at least 5 minutes. And it can be anything really. No matter what I work on, I'll be happy. What if life happens? And we know that life can be a sweetheart sometimes, right? Well, if that happens and you don't follow through, then that's it. You failed. Game over. No, I'm just kidding. That's ridiculous. If for some reason you need to take a break, you can't do it, even for a few days, that is perfectly okay. You can always go back to where you left. There's always tomorrow, so relax. This tea is quite good. Now, every time you say something bad about yourself to yourself, it gets more ingrained in your brain, and then eventually you will truly believe it, and it'll end up being part of who you are, your self-identity, your sense of self-worth. It'll impact your sense of self-worth directly. Now, would you tell a dear friend of yours that they are horrible and will never amount to anything in life? Would you say that to a friend? Probably not, unless you're a sociopath or something. Then, please, leave this video. I don't want you here. My point is, if you wouldn't say something that mean to a friend, why would you say it to yourself? Whenever I hear my friends putting themselves down and saying bad things about themselves, I tell them, dude, stop talking down and talking crap about my friend. And I know that sounds silly, but think about it. It's true. For some reason, it's really easy to put ourselves down, to explain away any of our failures, and find reasons to believe that we deserve to not reach and achieve our goals or dreams. It's so easy to accept that we're not good enough, right? If I ever have a child, I would never want them to feel this way. I even think about my own brother feeling like this about himself. That hurts. So whenever I catch myself thinking these things, of my own efforts and my own ideas, I try to reframe them in my mind. And I know it's not so simple. Self-depleting comments are kind of addictive, and you might not even notice them anymore if they have become part of your routine. So what I mean to say here is, try to be kinder to yourself. Respect your limits and see that you're just like everyone else. You're not perfect. You will never be. And that's okay. If you are feeling alone and like none of your efforts matter and that nothing you do is worth it, I hope that this video helped, brought a smile to your face maybe, and perhaps even pushed you a little bit further into forgiving yourself and being kinder to yourself. If you want to join this little community here, you're welcome to. It would be my pleasure to have you here along for the ride. We can always encourage each other and appreciate one another's progress.